with them a strand of DNA, RNA, one strand. And the nanobots are smart, and they find the cancer cells, and the nanobots inject their RNA into the cancer cell so that the cancer cell is transformed to healthy tissue. Leave me out.
Amen.
I'd rather die of cancer once.
Right.
Amen?
Yeah.
And live forever after that. So that's what Baphomet represents. Be there, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth who? And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. And then shall he say also to them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. The Bible is literal. Doesn't need you to reinterpret it. Or say, well, that's a symbol of something.
Come on.
God's smarter than we are, and He saw all of this before you and I ever showed up on the scene.
Right.
And if God says they're going to separate the sheep from the goats, He wasn't kidding about this goat part.
Amen.
Because that's what Baphomet, their transformation of mankind to where he's not totally human. Even if they only inject one little strand of RNA that comes from an animal and that replicates in my body, I'm no longer human. I'm part man and part beast. That's what Baphomet is. Baphomet also represents what's called the androgyny. We covered it up, but Baphomet is half male and half female. Okay? Who said this? Then He created Eve out of Adam. Now actually God didn't name her Eve. Adam named her Eve later. That wasn't her name. Her name was Adam. Adam. When God said Adam, they both came. Their authority was one and the same together. That's a lie.
That's right.
They had always been together. Even when she was still part of him, he was as much female as he was male, like God is. People have even argued about whether God is male or female, but the Bible itself tells that He's both. That's a lie.
That's right.
That's right in the Hebrew language. That's where you get in trouble. All words have gender. They're either male or female. But the Hebrew word Jehovah is both masculine and feminine. He's as much female as He is male, and He's as much male as He is female. And He said it. His God is that.
Amen.
Okay? But He is transformed into a minister of righteousness. But He's not. And so how many people follow Him and others just like Him? Millions.
Who is that, Brother Mike?
That's Kenneth Copeland. Okay? Yeah. She's got her hand up his jacket, pulling his mouth like that. Okay? That's who said that. And that doctrine, I was confronted that doctrine in Baltimore several years ago, and a woman got mad at me. And I said, that Bible does not say God's a woman or a he, she, or an it, or anything like that. It does too. I said, no, it doesn't. She got mad at me. She hated me.
Yeah.
Okay? The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination of the Lord thy God. Why did God put that in there? He also put it in there in the same place where He said, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with what?
Yeah.
God separates.
Right.
Baphomet, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. When the husbandmen went out and planted the wheat, the husbandmen did not plant the tares as well. Who did? His enemies came in at night in darkness, not in the light, in the darkness, subtly, secretly, and planted the tares so that the tares come up with the wheat. Thou shalt not plow an ox and an ass together. They're opposites.
Right.
So there we cannot be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Thou shalt not wear a garment of divers sorts, as of woolen and linen together. Wool comes from animals, sheep. Linen comes from plants. They're opposites. And God said, no. I don't want to see any fusion of opposites in my people. None. That's who Baphomet represents.
Yeah.
So the transgendered people, these are all guys, by the way. Vera Alder, who is a New Age writer about 7,500 years ago, says that the perfect epitome of what the New Age is all about can be seen in the homosexual. Because the homosexual represents the fusion of masculine and feminine together in one body. So why do we see this explosion in our country of the homosexuality, transgendered? Why do we see an explosion now of that? Why are they going to become protected even from the pulpits? We won't be able to say that that's wrong unless we're ready to go to jail. You ready? Ready, Craig? Because they're arresting guys in Canada.
Yeah, they are. That's true.
For saying it. And they're going to start arresting us as soon as he signs the law. Okay? President Obama's transgender appointment. That's a guy. That is Baphomet. The androgynous God who is both male and female together. And it's in your face. And you pay her salary. Okay? The three horns. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. That's sin. We all know what lust of the flesh is. Amen? And we all know what lust of the eyes are, right? Okay? We have a problem with that pride of life. I'm not proud! Right? I tried to tell a woman that was suffering from Alzheimer's that she wasn't all there. They don't believe it. The same is true when you try to tell a proud person that they're too proud.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't believe it.
That's right, Brother Mike.
Okay? Too proud. So that's what the three horns represent. So it's the man of sin, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life. Three, you see threes here. There are now in the world, this is what Manly Hall, Secret Teaching of All Ages, he was a Mason. He said, there are now in the world several secret schools privileged to initiate candidates into the mysteries. That's what Baphomet represents, the mystery religion. But in nearly every instance, they lighted their altar fires from the flaming torch of Herm or Hermes. That's what this torch is. It is the flaming torch of occult illumination. Okay? It's where the New Age is headed. It's where everybody's headed. This initiation into the New Age is going to bring enlightenment. But remember, darkness in their world is called light. And light, which is what we believe, is called darkness. So it's opposites. So the flaming torch of Hermes in his book of Thoth revealed to all mankind that the one way. And for ages the wise of every nation and every faith have reached immortality by the way, or the one way. Now I'm going to show you this number one all throughout. Helen Blavatsky in her book The Secret Doctrine said the esoteric theogony begins with the one. The one is a name for this Messiah that's rising up, this beast, this Antichrist. He is called the one. So in the Message Bible, they're calling God all throughout it the one, the one, the one, the one. It gets worse than that here in a little bit. The one. Everything is one with everything else. All that is on earth is an expression of the one deity and is permeated with its energies. That's what they call pantheism, where God is in all and all. And these New Age proponents in the church, the emerging church, Brian McLaren and these other guys are saying God is inside all of us. We just need to tap into the God that is within us all. The one, making us one. E pluribus unum. You know what that means? Pluribus, plural. Out of many, unum, one. That's what the phrase means. Out of many, which is all of us, comes the one, the Antichrist. Okay? Have you ever heard of the word community church? How are all these churches that used to be Southside Free Will Baptist or First Baptist, why are they changing themselves into Journey Community Church? Why are they all doing that? Community means everybody is the one. Everybody is. And the expression behind that means is that the belief is that unless all of us are saved, none of us can be. That's not in the Bible. The Bible said work out your own. Okay? So that's what behind community church. And communism. Interdependence, interconnectedness, these words are used by New Agers to describe the oneness and essential unity of everything in the universe. A movie came out by Jet Li called The One. He was, in this movie, Jet Li was the one. He was a godlike figure that was in Hades.
Yeah.
Neo in The Matrix. The Matrix is all about the birth of the Antichrist. The One. The One. He's called the One who's going to save America. He represents the transformation of America. There will emerge the universal religion, the one church. That's what Elise Bailey said. E pluribus unum. So we have the one campaign. That is to get all the religions working together. Rick Warren is a part of the one campaign. And everybody that follows him has to be part of the one. We have the one church, next generation. Generation has to do with genetics. The one church, the one mission, the one church. Oh, by the way, that was Harvest Community Church. Okay? The one, the one. This is a LGBT affirming. You know what that means, don't you? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, affirming church. Baphomet. Okay? I don't have to go to church to be a Christian. One prayer. One magazine. Didn't used to be called that, did it? Used to be called Contact Magazine. Why did they change the name? They've changed a lot of other stuff too, haven't they?
That's right.
Okay? The three horns, you notice that the one in the middle is different. It represents the fusion of opposites making the one. It's epitomized as Osiris, the sun god, who mates with Isis, the fertility god, Gaia, Diana, Venus, Ashtaroth, Ishtar, Virgin Mary, okay, to make Horus their fusion son. That's what that represents. So I'm going to show you examples of two joining together to make the one. Here it is in a right angle triangle. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared equals Osiris. B squared equals Isis. And the sum of these two make Horus their god. This right angle triangle was built into the street layout of Washington, D.C. Here's Washington's monument. Here's the Capitol. Here's the White House. This plus this. And this is called the Federal Triangle. This is where all the offices of D.C. are. Okay? In a Masonic lodge, the junior warden, the senior warden, but we have, who sits here? The worshipful master. How many masters can you have? No man can serve two masters. He will either hate the one and hold to the other, or serve the one and despise the other. You can't have it both ways in God's kingdom. God does not fusion anything.
That's right.
Amen? He's not. Okay? So that's what that represents. Osiris, Isis, and their son, the worshipful master. Here's the right angle triangle again. So you have Osiris, Isis, and Horus, the birth or the Antichrist. In Gothic cathedrals, which were meant to represent the womb of a woman, you always have three doors in these old churches. Okay? So here is Osiris, Isis, and their son. And remember that symbol of Mystery Babylon the Great. That's the center door there. You know where that